It's my immense pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Conrad Saldanha, who is a renowned expert in his field as a working professional and educator. Mr. Conrad Saldanha is an alumnus of St. Xavier's College, Mumbai, and the Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. He worked for 32 years in industry. After retiring in 2009 as a Vice President, Training and Market Research of the Times of India, he entered the education space and worked as Principal Advisor for Don Bosco Center for Learning, Mumbai, for another 10 years. He has conducted numerous learning and development programs in India and abroad for religious and educational institutions. He was the principal research investigator in a revisioning exercise for the Salesians of South Asia. He has been on the board of advisors for various management and communication institutions. Apart from his achievements, Mr. Conrad is also interested in writing. He is a blogger on the platform Medium and the author of a book titled Seeking to Live. He has published more than 50 articles on different platforms, viz. Medium, Dimensions, the Times of India, the Examiner, etc. Besides his professional achievements, Mr. Conrad is also a part of social outreach program. He is currently on the Ethics Committee of Asian Heart Institute. He is a certified trainer in CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility, conducted social business summits as a platform for industry, NGOs, government and educational institutions to come together to address issues as part of SDGs. He is a lifelong student who is continuously learning. He has now started learning how to draw and paint and also try and understand Sanskrit. He believes that life is an ongoing journey of discovery, which reflects his dedication and endurance in all aspects of life. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Conrad Saldanha. I request Mr. Conrad Saldanha and also our rector, Reverend Father Dominic Martis, to kindly come up on stage. We welcome you, sir. Kindly accept this token of appreciation on behalf of Don Bosco Naigao. Thank you, Father. Thank you, sir. Today we are here to explore the theme Don Bosco on education. Without further ado, I invite Mr. Conrad Saldanha to offer us insights that will help us navigate the challenges ahead.
Father Rector, Principal, distinguished guests, and friends. Okay, I am here. This is a privilege given to me to be a keynote speaker, and I hope to do justice to it by giving you a very broad perspective in terms of the issues and challenges in the context of Don Bosco. Okay, so I also want this whole session to be interactive. So don't think that I am going to be on the podium and talking to you and then you have to only listen. No. If you have any questions, if you want to challenge, you please feel free, raise your hand and ask, clarify. There's no right or wrong, there's no making a fool of myself, no. We are all learning together, okay? Is it clear? Okay, fine. Now, I want to begin by saying that we are living in a period which is the white water of change. You know what's the white water? When you have that, rivers coming together and, you are going on that kayaking or what, and it's, pushing you all over the place. and you don't know how to control it. In fact, there is no control. So that is called white water. So it is water which is gushing from all sides, and you are trying to surf on that water. That's exactly what we are trying to do. We are trying to surf and survive in terms of all the water which is gushing from all sides, and we do not know where and how the next wave will come. Okay? So that's why it's called the white water of change. Now, if you look at today's situation, it is described with the acronym BANI. B-A-N-I. Now, what do these letters mean? B stands for brittle. You know what's the meaning of brittle? Brittle means, you know, your cup and saucer, china? Right. So suppose that china, the cup and saucer, falls down. It breaks into smithereens, small pieces, smithereens, okay? So therefore, when you're looking at today's situation, we are living in a period which is so brittle, where, you know, a small microbe can shut down the world immediately. You do not know where that microbe comes from. I'm talking about COVID. And suddenly the whole world is shut down, okay? So we are living in a world which is very brittle. Secondly, we are living in a world which is very anxious. The anxiety is very high, extremely high. Now, people do not know if they are going to have their job tomorrow. Literally, literally. I have a friend of mine who is based in Washington, D.C., who is working for Amazon Web Services. Now, Amazon Web Services is the core department of Amazon. Huh? And what she was telling me is that midnight, she needs to open her comp in order to see if the company email is working. If it is not, means she has been retrenched. Can you beat it? No reason, no warning. That means every midnight, I will know whether I have a job tomorrow or not. So there are many people who are today highly anxious, and you're looking at it in the papers, you know, which is coming, stressed out and committing suicide, etc. So we are living in very anxious times, very anxious, full of anxiety. We are also living in a time which is non-linear. Try and understand what is non-linear. Non-linear means if I pay 100 rupees for a pizza, you will give me a 100 rupee pizza. This is linearity. There's a linear relationship. 100 rupees, 100 rupees. You got it? But when you have a small microbe shutting down the whole world, that is non-linear. If I pay 10 rupees for a lottery and I get 100,000 rupees in return, non-linear. Have you understood? So we are living in a time of non-linearity. Is it clear? Lastly, we are living in a time which is incomprehensible. No matter how much of information you have, no matter how much of artificial intelligence you employ, you will still not understand what we are going through or what the future is going to be. Still cannot understand. It's incomprehensible. Now, Yuval Noah Harari, who has been quoted very often nowadays and who's appearing in various forms on videos, on various platforms. This is a video, but I'm not going to show it because of time constraints. But very simply put, in this video, he states very clearly that in this white water of change, which we are experiencing, how do we encounter it? How do we address it? And he puts it very, very simply, very simply. He says the first point is we need to embrace change. We cannot run away from it. We cannot fight it. It's coming. So the change is coming in waves and waves. So we need to embrace it, accept it. The second point which he makes is that we need flexibility. In terms of flexibility, what he is talking about is mental and emotional flexibility. We cannot be stuck. and I'll come to it again later on. But the example he gives is beautiful. Huh? He says, suppose, he says, I am 46 years of age. He's talking. Huh? And he says, now, if somebody tells me that all that I have learned in the past is useless, how do you expect me at 46 years of age to retrain myself to something totally new? And he says, that is what we have to do. He says, I have to forget whatever I have learned. And I have to learn completely anew. That means I have to address this particular period of time with a blank slate. You got me? So I'm continuously letting go, letting come. It's a very, very serious kind of issue, where I am continuously dying and living. I'm dying to the knowledge which is gone past, and I'm living to learn the new. Have you got it? This is the key. This is the crux of life. So he says, I will need to learn even the basics, how to see, how to behave. Because he says, when most of our lives are going to be lived in a metaverse, which is a virtual world, the laws of physics and gravity which we experience in everyday life do not operate in that world. So we have to relearn how we are going to operate in that world. So mental and emotional flexibility is needed. And the third point is, we can't do it alone. Very, very important. There is a tremendous need, especially today, for collaboration. Not only collaboration, but co-creation. Okay? So therefore, the three things which he says: need to embrace change, mental flexibility, and can't do it alone. Let's look at the first one, need to embrace change. Now, this is a long definition of change, etc. I will just give it to you very briefly. You know the caterpillar, and it transforms into a butterfly. Am I right? Now, can the butterfly change back into the caterpillar? That is change. Have you understood it? So in other words, it means once you change, you can't go back. It's a total change. That is real change, okay? It's impossible to return to anything resembling its former state. Now you just look at this kind of graph. It's showing you what we have experienced in the previous 150 years and in the current 25 years. I want to point out only two things, okay? Now you tell me, when was color TV discovered? 1954. Am I right? Color TV. When did we adopt color TV? Just before the Asian Games. That is around 1984. Am I right? So therefore you had 30 years between discovery and adoption. Have you understood it? Discovery 54, adoption 84. 30 years. Now you look at the next one. When was the cell phone discovered? 1973. When did we adopt the cell phone? It was around 95, 96, just after the pagers. So I remember the first pager I got, it was around 95, 96, and then followed by that big, huge cell phone. So therefore, this is 23 years. So you had 30 years followed by 23 years. Discovery, adoption. Now you look at currently. When was ChatGPT and AI discovered and launched? November of 2022. Am I right? November of 2022. And immediately you had millions of users. So therefore, discovery and adoption, there is no time lag. It's instantaneous. It's immediate. That is the pace of change which we are facing. No? So on day one, a large lake contains only one single small lily pad. Each day, the number of lily pads doubles, until on the 30th day, the lake is totally choked with vegetation. On what day was the lake half full? Mathematics. Who's the mathematics teachers? Mathematics teacher. On what day was the lake half full? The 30th day, the lake is totally choked. On the 30th day, the lake is totally choked. So therefore, on what day was the lake half full? 29th, correct? Absolutely. This is quantum. So it is not arithmetic. It is geometric. It is quantum in terms of progression. So therefore, welcome to day 29. So we are experiencing day 29. Which new jobs will be created by 2030? Now just look at the names of these jobs. It's mind-blowing. These are jobs. Organ creator, metaverse planner, augmented reality journey builder, makeshift structure engineer, biofilm installer, earthquake forecaster, algorithm bias auditor, human machine teaming manager, digital currency advisor, rewilder. Are you sensing what I'm saying? These are jobs which we have hardly heard of. So you're looking at an organ creator, which is happening. You are looking at augmented reality journey builder, which is going to become more and more prevalent. Biofilms, so that means, your kitchens and your bathrooms, etc., will be, kind of biofilm will be there to, treat your waste so that, it's not contaminated anymore. Okay, now, rewilder means bringing in all your greenery back. We have done so much of damage to the environment, so now we are rewilding. Okay? Human machine, that means there will be specific roles for humans, specific roles for machines. And now how are they going to work together? So this is what we are going to see in the future in terms of jobs. So therefore, when you look at this scenario, today nobody has any idea what to teach young people that will still be relevant in 20 years. It's a fact. We are preparing children for a world that will no longer exist. And therefore, what should we teach now that will still be relevant in 20 years? Now I'm going to share with you something which I feel we need to teach our kids, which will be relevant 20 years from now, and in the context of Don Bosco, which is very important. The first thing of Don Bosco was to create human beings. Not human doing, human beings. Tomorrow the machines and AI will be doing. We will have to be human beings. Big difference. We are continuously involved in activity. We are hardly ever concentrating on being. And it's going to become more and more imperative that we understand what a human being is. It is like saying, I need to understand what black is. Can you understand black without white? Can you understand up without down? Can you understand human being without machine and artificial intelligence? Are you getting what I'm trying to get at? Okay, therefore, in the age of AI, major in being human. We talk about I majored in sociology. I majored in psychology. I majored in philosophy. We will be expected to major in being a human being. See, there were two of these guys from Stanford University. Very interesting, huh? They created a list of attributes which were shared with AI, and another list of attributes which was only human. Okay? Now, if you read the attributes which are only human, you will turn around and say, AI can also do this. So what's the big deal? So what they did was, they tested it out among 200 respondents. Now, you read this. The respondents rated humans as more capable on all 20 traits. All 20 traits. But the gap was small on the shared traits. That means, the difference between AI doing a better job and the human doing a better job, very narrow. Whereas on the distinctive human traits, the human being scored much more. So let me share with AI, doing computations, using language, implementing rules, forecasting the future, using logic, communicating. AI will communicate. They'll carry on a conversation with you. You have waitresses, you have receptionists, you have got all types of, communicating with you. Recognizing faces, remembering things, sensing temperatures, detecting sounds. Distinctive to humans, having culture, holding beliefs, having a sense of humor, being moral, being spiritual, having desires, feeling happy, feeling love, having a personality, having relationships. This is distinctive to humans. Now you will say AI can also do this, and I will come to that just now in a moment. AI lacks a humanistic core. No matter what you may do, there is no consciousness where AI is concerned. Now you will see in a painting, suppose you have Ravi Verma paintings. Okay, you're familiar with Ravi Verma? Fantastic paintings. Now AI is bringing life to those paintings. But when you look at an AI painting, which is an algorithmic art, if besides the shock value, you can't spend more than 5 minutes on that. You get fed up. Whereas if you look at a painting done by a human being, you can go in for hours and hours and you can come back to it because there is a human touch there. Similarly, the computer will show you that it has empathy, simulate empathy, give you a listening ear, but it will ultimately not satisfy you. Only the human being who listens will satisfy you. Are you getting me? Okay, so therefore, comforted by computers that tell us that they love us, we'll forget what love is. Wowed by systems that seem to be creative, we lose all respect for actual human creativity. And basically, we are fakes. We have to accept it. We live in a fake world. We are surrounded by everything which is fake. I don't want to go into the details in terms of this. As a result of which, we are falling for fakeness. So therefore, we are falling for AI. And it is precisely at this moment that we have to pull out and say, what is it that defines us as human beings? And regain our humanity. Okay? So here also, I will not go into this. Okay? It's a very short clip. It says that artificial intelligence does not have consciousness. Okay? Now, this is an interesting thing. Because now, when AI is available everywhere, will soft skills like warmth and empathy, the ability to nurture growth in others, be valued more highly? Remember what Don Bosco said, good human beings. And it is more relevant now than ever before, Will lawyers and quants be paid less while teachers and caregivers receive more respect and money? Because the whole role of a teacher is a human being. Think of it, whole role. The second thing which we need to teach is digital citizenship. Not only how to keep children safe in the digital world. Remember what Don Bosco said, good human being and good citizen. But here I'm talking about digital citizenship. So how do you behave in the digital world? Not only protecting yourself, but using it to solve real life problems. Also how to build strong relationships. Also to satisfy your curiosity. This third part is very important, extremely important. Don Bosco laid a lot of emphasis on accompaniment and loving presence. But you switch it over in terms of today's world. And in terms of today's world, you realize we spend so much of time teaching children on how to read, how to speak, how to write. Do we ever teach them how to listen? Besides telling them to keep quiet, listen. Am I right? The teacher is continuously saying, keep quiet, listen. So the child understands listening, just listen. But is that just listening? So listening presence, that is going to be more and more critical, more and more important. Because then when you have got that presence in terms of listening, people will confide in you, people will trust you, and that's going to become more and more critical just now in terms of accompanying children, accompanying youth. Listen to your body, listen to the earth, listen to your soul, listen to the silence. Stillness is our most intense mode of action. It is in our moments of deep quiet that is born every idea, emotion, and drive, which we eventually honor with the name of action. Einstein said this. Einstein said, be quiet if you want your imagination to thrive. In fact, he discovered this whole thing of gravity and, or your various other things, which the speed of light, etc. Or when he was imagining, quietly sitting down and imagining the speed of light. So therefore, please, when we are active continuously, we miss out. We miss out. Listen to your heart. Listen to your mind. Listen to your emotions. Listen to your life. How often do we listen? Hardly ever. That's why we never change. Being heard or listened to is so close to being loved that most people cannot tell the difference. See, you look at your own experience. When you have experienced someone who has truly listened to you, don't you feel a sense of freedom? Don't you feel a sense of lightness? That is what it's saying. It's the closest thing of being loved. Okay? The fourth one is mental and emotional fluidity, flexibility. Okay? So humans suffer from a commitment bias, so therefore you need to have that flexibility. Is it clear? Now, need to see differently. I'll just go through an exercise. What do you see? Don't say my bald head. Huh? Okay, so what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Turning back. So turning back. What else do you see? Quicker, because I'm running out of time, and people are keeping a look at the watch. Back of the head. What is it associated with? I'm giving you a hint. What is it associated with? Universe. Universe. He's listening. Brain. Back towards ourselves. Okay? So, Mark the Gandhi without a spectacle. So see, when you look at an image, you can imagine and associate anything. So therefore, you could say it is a style. It's a fashion. Shave myself bald. It's a fashion. Or you could say it's a soldier. Or you could say it's a survivor of cancer. You get me? So it could be anything. It depends on how you see. And you will see what you want to see. Draw a line to create an 8. Draw a line to create an 8. Draw another line. So you will say, what a stupid question, right? I mean, what is he wasting our time? So I drew a line, okay. Now I'll say, draw a line to create a 6. Draw a line to create a 6. Somebody said S. But is S a line? Is S a line? Is S a line? It's not a line. Some people are saying, no, it's not a line. Okay, you are right. I did not say that it should not be a curved line. You imputed that meaning into what I said. Am I right? Okay, so S-I-X. Next, draw a line to create a 6. Now he'll say, what is this? Stupidity. No, I've given him the answer. Why is he asking the question again? Draw a line to create a 6. Father, I may exceed a little bit. Okay. 1 multiplied by 6. Have you understood it? It's a multiplication sign. Okay. So therefore, no, this is important. What did you do here? I conditioned you to see Roman numerals. Therefore, you got the answer. When I put this on, you were thinking of Roman numerals. You did not shift your lens to Roman alphabet. You refused. You could not get the answer. Next is, you got the answer. Now I said again. So now here you said, only one problem, one answer. You can't have two answers to the same problem. And the second thing is, again, you were looking at Roman alphabet. You did not shift to signs and symbols. Okay, so this is all. No, this I will skip. I will skip. Our ability to achieve. Our beliefs are the truth. The truth is obvious. Our beliefs are based on real data. The data we select are the real data. See how foolishly we behave. How foolishly we behave. And this is right through life. I conditioned you to see only Roman numerals. You saw only Roman numerals. You believed it only to be Roman numerals. Why? Because you were conditioned to believe Roman numerals. What is the half of 8? 4. What is the half of 8? 0. Why? What is the half of 8? 3. What is the half of 8? S. Okay? So now you got it. Huh? We think as we see as we believe as the assumptions we hold as true. The assumptions we hold as true are because of our conditioning. Okay, this I will skip. Okay, now how do we see education? AI and cheating. Artificial intelligence and cheating. The apocalypse of homework. So people will cheat, students will cheat with AI. Now this is going to be the area where we go back to our experience of calculators. When calculators were introduced, we said, no, this is going to spoil our education system, but we co-opted it. Similarly, AI will need to be co-opted. In some areas, it will be allowed. In some areas, it will be disallowed. Again, I'm going... now, this I want to stress. Huh? See, there are certain issues in every school which need to be addressed. And you need to face up to these issues. Okay? So, learning takes place in the classroom. It's an assumption. So, as a result of which, do we make efforts to make learning applicable to life? Do we integrate from different fields like mathematics and nature, fractal geometry, or biology with engineering, biomimicry? Teacher-centric learning. That means only the teacher knows, nobody else knows. We hardly ever focus on student learning or question, discuss. We create lesson plans with templates and we rigidly stick to that. It's not flexible. We hardly ever use different pedagogies. So we are more interested in how we teach rather than what is it that the students need to learn. Okay? The students are a product. They are not creators of learning and therefore no empathy, no going out of one's way to get to know the students. That was Don Bosco's core. He knew the youth. He knew the students. We demean, we target, we are biased, we are partial towards students. We do not challenge them to higher levels of learning. We do not develop their thinking skills, no matter what subject we are teaching. We work in silos. We don't collaborate with teachers of other sections. We don't collaborate with parents. We don't collaborate with management. We don't collaborate with any stakeholder. And with reference to teachers, are we open to feedback? The moment somebody gives true feedback, we come up with our defenses. That is not true. I am good. We are happy with mediocrity and not open to the new. Now we need to ask ourselves 4 questions. What should we emphasize in the school? What should we de-emphasize in our school? What should we eliminate in our school? And what should we create anew in our school? This I will go, forget it. Forget it. The last point, you remember the last point? Collaboration. So we need to understand relationships, whether it's with people or students. One is, I am and you are an object. So I treat everybody as an object, just to play around with. Or I treat the other person as an enemy. You know, there are some individuals in this world who even when they don't have enemies will create an enemy. They need an enemy to exist. Otherwise, what will I talk? Suppose I meet you in the marketplace. What will I say? Nothing, because everybody is my friend. But if somebody is an enemy, then I've got masala. You know what she said to me, you know what she did to me, you know. So it'll go on. Conversation is made because enemy. Okay? So try and understand. Understanding conflict. We may have different opinions, but only when you force your opinion on me becomes conflict. The most important thing is, I am in you. We are interdependent, we are interrelated, we are interconnected. You know Maya Angelou, a famous poet, how beautifully she says it. Now please do not misunderstand what I am saying. Within us, there is white and black. Do you agree with that? There is dark and there is good within each one of us. So therefore we are not all good. And therefore whatever is dark in another person is present within me. she was raped. And that experience of rape, she says, I could forgive the other person who raped me only when I was able to say, I am my rapist. You got me? She identified and then she forgave. Okay, this fine, forget it. The body, forget it. Okay, I just want to mention this. See, all of us, what are we looking at? All of us, this has come out from a survey of the whole world, employees. 5 things. Hear and understand me. This is one. Even if I am wrong, do not make me wrong. My opinion may be wrong. What I have done is wrong, but do not thrash me as a person. Tell me the truth with compassion, not harshly. Like there was one woman who said, whatever is on my chest, I get it off. Okay, you may be getting it off your chest. What happens to the chest of the other person? You understand what I'm saying? You can't say, also honesty can become cruelty. Tell me the truth with compassion. Look for the greatness within me and always look for my good intentions. We all want to feel great. We all want to do good. We all want to live a legacy. Look for my good intentions. Okay. Hello? Where is it's not moving? Hello? Yeah, okay, fine. No. I only want to, when we talk about loving your enemies, we need to love the enemy because the enemy is doing a service to us, because it's showing us our dark side. So therefore, if the enemy was not there, we would all think that we are saints, when we are not actually saints, okay? So with that, I want to close by this quote. We might say that the whole of life lies in that verb, if not ultimately, at least essentially, to see or to perish, is the very condition laid upon everything that makes up the universe. It's a quote by Teilhard de Chardin. Okay? So thank you very much and all the best for your symposium. Okay? Any questions, clarifications? Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking about my time. But you feel free, even without the mic. Even without the mic. Huh? Yeah. No, feel free.
What you said now, we have to change our whole style of teaching. The focus has to be on the human being.
That's right.
Because AI may teach whatever. We'll have to focus now on teaching our students how to be good human beings. Because AI will replace whatever we are doing and replace many more things in the next 10 to 15 years. So our learning will be redundant. Our training of skills for jobs will be redundant, or probably they will require that. Now, how do you suggest, would there need to be a shift in curriculum? Or what would be the new curriculum that would come in?
Yeah, Father, see, it's not a simple question to answer. See, it's not like a computer. You shut it off and you turn off. You get me? It's not shutting off and turning on. No, it's a gradual kind of thing. So you will still need skills. You will still need to teach the way you are teaching. It will not happen, change will not happen overnight. What I'm saying, the stress or the emphasis will change to being good human beings. Because ultimately, in the next 10 to 15 or 20 years, it is the human being who will plant his flag and assert himself as a human being. Because AI and machines will take over practically everything, you're right. But we can't change our syllabus, our curriculum, our way immediately. We are not computers, not on and off. No. It's only the emphasis.
So how do you suggest the emphasis would come?
All the programs which you do, suppose for instance, socio-emotional maturity. So there is a whole curriculum on social-emotional maturity. Now that can be offered to students.
Yeah, so supplementary...
That's right. But the mindset should shift. The mindset. What does it mean to be a human being? We are thinking human doing, activity. That is not human being. Why today so many people are going into contemplation? Why are so many people flocking to retreats? Why are so many people spending hours in mindfulness? Why? Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Any other question?
Sir, today, if you see, all human beings are always on the verge of public success, but usually if you find themselves, their private failures are also increasing day by day.
The private
Failures.
failures, yes. So, here, this is, it's very sad to say, we are taken up with the image we want to project to the world. So, therefore, I will change my DP every day. I will take these reels, these small videos to show to the world how active I am and how happy I am and how well I am doing in life and all the accolades which I am getting. Whereas deep down, I am going more and more into depression. And then suddenly this person commits suicide and you say, Arey, she or he was on Facebook and these are the reels portraying her and him, etc. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So we are giving more emphasis on the image to our deep inner self, substance. Have I answered your question? Yeah.
I would just like to comment to the question what Father asked, how can we teach being human? Even in my math lesson, I can teach a child this value. In my 30 minutes of class, if I plan my lesson, 1 minute can be as a value. I can teach a value.
Excellent.
When I'm teaching a word problem sum, I can include a problem that will teach them some value of sharing, caring,
Excellent.
kindness.
Excellent.
So when I enter my class to teach science, math, history, geography, I should always set for a value that I'm going to give my student in that 30 minutes of class, where I can balance my portion, my syllabus, and at the same time I'm touching human beings also.
Absolutely.
So this is what I feel.
Very, very good. Very good intervention. Thank you very much. You can also begin the class with mindful silence. So it helps them to focus, it helps them to concentrate, and also get in touch with themselves. But thank you for the intervention. Okay, I think time is over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the organizers. Sorry for Dr. Peter. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, and all the best. All the best. Okay. Thank you.
At the end of the keynote address, I'm sure we have got an insight into the facts, like the situation today, how do we cope up with the situation, what does it mean to be human, digital citizenship and soft skills, spirituality of listening, mental and emotional fluidity. In a nutshell, what Mr. Conrad has presented to us, to see or to perish, is the condition laid upon everything that makes up the universe. I thank Mr. Conrad Saldanha for such an insightful keynote on the theme Don Bosco on education. I request our principal, Reverend Father Anthony Fonseca, and Mr. Conrad Saldanha to kindly come up on stage. Kindly accept this token of appreciation. Thank you, Father. Thank you, sir.